action framework stand for? You must adopt a balanced leadership, create and promote a balanced workplace, train employees on adopting inclusive mindsets, invest in what and not who, organize and promote employee networks, and nurture beyond workplace. So what is the balanced leadership according to me? Is we must understand that diversity is a business case and not a community responsibility. If you believe that promoting women, promoting people with disability, promoting people from other cultures is a matter of community responsibility and not a business case, then you're not going to have business metrics to manage. You need a business metrics to see how much you're going to leverage. You must have metrics that will manage, that will keep tab of the participation and the contribution that these people make. And I also believe that the balanced leadership should be able to communicate the long-term vision for creating a diverse workforce. I remember one of my mentors earlier, way back in 2002, told me, Srimati, the best organizations are those with leaders who believe in the outcome of a program and not believe in what is being done in the program or micromanage. Which basically means that they do not worry where the people operate. They are more worried about what is the outcome. And she also told me that if the culture of the organization is it accepts virtual teams, it means that there is a higher innovation and higher productivity because it improves trust and transparency. Because you do accept a person whom you don't meet, whom you don't see, but still you're working as team members, or the person is going to be your subordinate. Which I thought was a fantastic idea, and in my view, that is a fundamental of a balanced leadership and the fundamental of even building trust and transparency among your teams for innovation. When you say a balanced workplace, I mean you must be looking at a gender neutral, ability sensitive, and a culturally inclusive workplace. Finally, it is all about mindsets, right? Are we going into a workplace and looking for our own clones there? I've come across many managers who say that, Srimati, it's fantastic, and many of my other friends, they say, Srimati, I can just leave, I can just go on a good holiday because my second in command exactly knows what I will do in which situations. And I know exactly, and he knows exactly how to manage in my absence. He can just walk my talk. So which I think is not a very interesting phenomenon if your organization is looking for new ways to improve and constantly innovate. And also, are you creating channels within the organization where people can report incidences where when they are not able to contribute enough, when they are not able to reach the right influencer or the decision maker for anything? Do you have channels where people can reach out to and talk? It's very important. Many organizations put all these channels as a corporate responsibility channel or an employee grievance channel, and in my view, it is not the right way. It has to be just part and package of your day-to-day interactions. There are simple ways, training modules that I believe should be there, and it's not for innovation. We have enough innovation trainings that might otherwise happen in the workplace scientifically. But what we need to invest today in the workplace is how do you create inclusive work, inclusive mindsets. How many of us actually carry our own stereotypes and prejudices about other cultures, about gender people with gender preferences? We have our own value system, and when we come up with those value systems and beliefs into the workplace and still governed by the stereotypes and prejudices, and we are unable to actually leverage what ideas that others bring, then we are lost out on innovation. So in my view, I think the company should start promoting and investing more on training on creating inclusive mindsets, and then bring innovation and connect innovation to inclusive mindsets, so that there is a better training. There are better learning, and also transformation happens in a very meaningful manner. And I think when you have these inclusive mindsets, the very element of what and not who comes into mind. And this is what will also help us to manage the multi-generational workforce and also help people working across other cultures. So there is a high amount of there is always this aspect of individualism versus collectivism that often comes when you work with people from across cultures. But if you create a workplace where, it is all about what and not about who, what is being said, and not worry about who is saying it, in my view, would make a big difference in the way that you want to transform the company or transform the ideas. I have quoted HCL's employee first philosophy here because this is a very classic example that we came up with, employees first and customers second. And how do we actually look at employees as a means of creating value for our customers? I strongly encourage our participants to go through the employees first blogs that are already available or the book that has been written by our CEO, Mr. Vineet Nair. We also should promote the employee affinity networks. The employee resource groups have been in abundance. In some of the manufacturing companies, we are still stuck to the labor unions concept, but we just forget that all these unions and networks have been created for freedom of expression. The freedom of expression, if it is best leveraged for innovation, then it is going to lead to a whole lot of transformation process. Let us look at our own social networking websites within the company. If it is for social connect and not for gathering new ideas, and you do not create blogging sites for people to come up with fresh ideas, we have lost quite a bit of, new ideas there. And let us not forget that an average 21-year-old would want to express their ideas regularly in the form of blogs because they have other people who will also join with them and build on these ideas. And I think it's best that we leverage. For example, HCL today has a social site called Meme, and Meme actually promotes a whole lot only around innovation. And and irrespective of which account, who it is not about who, it is about what is being said. And today I connect to somebody outside the country not because of whether this person is white or whether the person is a woman or the person belongs to a particular country. I connect to a person because the person believes in inclusion, and therefore I want to learn inclusive practices from that person. So that kind of affinity thinking will lead to a lot of innovation. And I think we should go beyond the workplace. If you are really stuck to our own workplace for big ideas and not seeking out with our own stakeholders outside, we have lost out quite a bit. I think, this in mind, I think HCL has a very interesting program called MAD Limited. It is Make a Difference, Lead the Difference, which we kind of run it along the college students. And we have brilliant ideas for more than 15,000 people every year. And they talk about ideas that will transform the world, transform the future of IT, transform everything. And in my view, if we search continuously only for innovations within the company, then we have forgotten about what are stakeholders who also have equal interest in the company. We will lose them out. So here are the top 50 companies leveraging diversity. I have provided the list. If you want, you can also go into the site called Diversity Inc., which is a US-based, but they actually do a global check on how companies, kind of leverage diversity, and these are the top 50. I would also encourage you to go and see how they leverage practices for innovation, because that will make a big difference. These are all some of the references. I'll be happy to, kind of pass them on to you at any point in time so that you can kind of, question some of the thoughts that I have brought forward today. So I'm just going to stop here. We have about 20 minutes for this conversation. I'm sorry I took 10 minutes more for the presentation because I was quite excited to talk about some of the slides that I have here. And I'll be happy to receive questions either on chat mode or through the moderator.